What's going on, you guys? Spider Kit Kat here, formerly known as Spider Love, and today we're gonna take a look at a relatively old figure that is, at the time of this recording, is about 5 years old already, which is the Marvel Legends Peter Spider-Man figure. Now, I am well aware that at the time of this recording, there has been a new release of the classic Spider-Man figure, which, by all aspects considered, is a relatively better figure than this one. But there is still a lot of redeeming factors that make this figure hold its own against the new one, hence the very reason why we are doing this review. If you did watch the setup episode I made previously, you'll see that I have taken this out of the box, but putting it back here makes it feel like 2015 all over again. There are a few scuffage marks on the box, so to speak, but that can't be avoided. So without further ado, let's get this review started and let Spidey breathe some fresh air. Oh, and before we unbox Spidey, let me show you guys the box art first. So here are the sides. Here's the bottom, which contains the boring manufacturing details. I'm just focused that for you guys. So here's the top, and here's the back of the box. If you guys want to go ahead and read the blurb first, do pause it now. And for reals this time, let's get this review started. So here we have Peter Spider-Man out of the box, and after 5 years, this is still a pretty impressive figure. It comes packed with all the accessories you would expect from a Spider-Man figure. In fact, this Peter Spider-Man figure is the only release by Hasbro that comes with a complete set of close-fisted hands, web-flipping hands, and then finally, the open wall-crawling hands. The other Spider-Man toys only come with one set of hands or two, because if you look at things at a marketing standpoint, then it does make sense to scatter the accessories on different releases in order to expand the sale that you could get. But to us fans, then definitely it is quite a bummer to buy another set of an identical figure just for the sake of completing the accessories. Which is why I sure am glad I am not a stickler for these things. Speaking of accessories, other than the interchangeable hands, Peter Spider-Man right here is not to be called Peter Spider-Man for no reason, other than the pizza accessory that he can grab onto with his open left hand, and he also comes with an interchangeable half mask in order to eat that pizza with, I guess. As for the main figure itself, it does do a pretty good job of resembling a considerably tall and lanky Peter Parker. Although I may have to slightly agree with Anthony's Customs that the torso is unproportionately elongated as compared to the short legs, I don't think it ruins the overall aesthetic. I mean, sure, if you do look hard into it, you would notice that slight anatomical mishap, but for a $20 figure, I am more inclined to forgive Hasbro for that. To me, the more expensive a figure is, the more it deserves scrutiny. I mean, let's be honest for a while. We are pouring out hard-earned money to these non-essential companies after all. Least they could do is to get the job done right. But for something as cheaply made as Peter Spider-Man is, the fact that it can go toe-to-toe with Japanese imports like Mafex and Mezco is enough to prove that you are getting more than your money's worth for a $20 Hasbro figure. As for the articulation, it does come with the standard points that you would expect from any Spider-Man figure at the time. First of all, it has ab crunch, double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. The head can go that far up and down. Waist articulation, upper thigh swivel, butterfly joints, and of course that beautiful ankle pivot. And before we move on any further, I just want to mention the one thing that did not age well about this figure, and that is that terrible looking waist articulation. Anatomically speaking, a person's waist should not cut in half like this to begin with, and we can all agree that whatever phenomenon's happening here is not a naturally occurring thing for any normal human being. Which is where the NYCC Spider-Man steps up. More details on that once I have the figure. As for the quality of the figure, it is unfortunately made of a rigid type of plastic in what I'd assume is a lower grade of either polypropylene or polyethylene. And for those of you who don't know, yes, polypropylene along with polyethylene are the more commonly used types of plastics in making action figures. In fact, if you look around your house, any type of plasticware you will see is either made of polypropylene or polyethylene. Again, whichever of the two. But that's as much as what I'll be commenting for that before I turn things scientific. So, going back to Pizza Spidey right here, the only reason why it's as brand new as it looks is because I rarely do any poses for this other than vanilla ones for fear of wear and tear. I did notice that the most vulnerable part of this figure is the hollow chest area, which you can evidently notice that when you tap the chest, you can hear some of that hollowness echoing about. So just in between the butterfly joint and the chest area, you can see that there is a gap, and the gap right there is because the chest area is hollow. Anyway, cons aside, I feel that this is still more than good enough to have on your collection. I am a big fan of these googly eyes, and what I'd assume was inspired by the artwork of J. Scott Campbell, or whoever. So if you guys do know whose art this was actually inspired from, do let me know in the comment section down below. Other than the eyes, I'd say the paint applications were done well enough, although there are some slight splashes here and there, and I don't know if I've mentioned this already, but one other thing to point out is that I do appreciate the physique of this piece. It's not too thin, it's not too muscular, it's just the right amount of everything in between, which fits the stereotype of Peter Parker. So with all that said and done, I am giving Pizza Spidey right here a sub rating of... Let me think about it for a while. Give me 2 seconds here. 8.5. 8.5, 18. Alright, so I feel like the .018 is my way to be generous enough, but I can't go any further than what I actually feel is the rating it deserves. I mean, we gotta be fair because we don't want Hasbro to be complacent. Hopefully and rather assuredly enough, the NYCC Spider-Man will rate higher than this, but I have been hearing minor gripes from fellow collectors already, so we'll just have to see for ourselves. And just a quick bonus from our in-house residents, MJ and Wonder Woman would like to give out their sub ratings. Anyway, that is it for the review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you aren't part of the family yet, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future videos. If you are a part of the Spider Bagger family already, then better stay that way, because I will be including the first 100 subscribers to my raffle entry giveaway for when I reach 1,000 subscribers, hopefully before 2020 ends. And in case you guys missed it, I did call you guys my Spider Baggers. Why? Well, that is for personal reasons which I may or may not declassify sometime in the far future. Again, that is it for the video. See you guys soon and God bless.
Ryan Little.
Maybe we'll be okay.
By the way, it does come with this Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure left leg, but I think I forgot to mention this on the earlier clips, so I'll just chuck this into the after credits.